Welcome back, everyone. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself in a moment when things are going well, maybe even a little too well, and you start to feel uneasy? You can't recall the last time something went terribly wrong, and suddenly a strange, growing anxiety creeps in, waiting for the inevitable other shoe to drop. Maybe you've never felt this way, and if that's the case, consider yourself lucky. But for many, especially those living with anxiety or complex post-traumatic stress disorder, this is a very real and very common experience. It's as though their nervous system has been so attuned to chaos and unpredictability that when things are calm, they can't help but feel like something bad is bound to happen soon. This is a mentality that can affect a person deeply, and today we're going to break it down. It's important to understand that this fear doesn't always stem from an active belief that happiness is wrong or undesirable. It's more about a fear of letting go of control, of surrendering to joy, only to have it snatched away, leaving them vulnerable to the next bad thing. This is where a particular fear comes into play, a fear so elusive that many people don't even recognize it within themselves. This fear has a name: Cherophobia. It's the fear of happiness. Now, don't let the name fool you. The fear of happiness doesn't mean being afraid of other people's joy or believing that happiness itself is dangerous. It means being afraid of what might follow happiness. The idea that once you're happy, something terrible is just around the corner, waiting to balance out that joy. It's a thought process that can dominate your life without you even realizing it, making it hard to truly enjoy moments of happiness, even when they come. You might be wondering, what does this fear look like in action? Well, it shows up in a number of ways. You might find yourself passing up opportunities that could bring you positive change, even when you know they could be good for you. Or maybe you experience a sense of anxiety or dread when you hear good news. Some people even start to assess their current happiness, constantly looking for potential cracks where things could go wrong, effectively robbing themselves of the joy they're currently experiencing. These are all signs of cherophobia. If any of this sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone, and there are steps you can take to turn things around. The good news is that these steps are simple, practical, and things you've likely heard of before. One of the most effective approaches is cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT is a form of psychotherapy that focuses on the relationship between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It helps you identify and challenge negative thought patterns, replacing them with more positive, realistic, and rational beliefs. The goal is to break the cycle of anxiety by changing the way you respond emotionally and behaviorally to certain thoughts, gradually reducing overall distress. Another helpful approach is exposure therapy, which involves gradually exposing yourself to happy situations, allowing yourself to experience joy in controlled, low-stakes environments. This helps you build a sense of security with happiness, bit by bit, so you can become more comfortable with it over time. The key here is to make your experiences of happiness more frequent and manageable, eventually making them feel like less of a risk. Mindfulness practices, like meditation or even simple breathing exercises, can also be beneficial in this process. These practices help create a strong connection between the mind and body, allowing you to regain control over your reactions and calm your nervous system. This gives you more space to let logic and reason guide your thoughts, rather than letting fear take over. Journaling is another excellent tool. Reflecting on your feelings and experiences in happy situations can help you understand why you feel anxious when good things happen. What is it that makes you jump to the worst-case scenario? What's the root cause of this fear? In many cases, people who experience cherophobia have been through some form of trauma or loss that has led them to associate happiness with something negative. For example, if someone has lost a loved one, they might feel guilty about experiencing joy, leading to shame and a subconscious association between happiness and loss. Some people grow up in environments where happiness wasn't valued or prioritized, which can lead to an emotional avoidance of joy. In these cases, the person might see happiness as unnecessary or even dangerous, something to steer clear of in order to avoid the pain of disappointment or loss. These are examples of flawed coping mechanisms that people develop in an attempt to protect themselves from future hurt. The key takeaway here is this: the more we open ourselves up to happiness, the more we expose ourselves to the possibility of pain. This fear of vulnerability, fear of loss, holds us back. It convinces us that it's safer to keep our happiness small, our expectations low, our circles tight. But in doing so, we also close ourselves off from some of life's greatest experiences. Sure, keeping things small might shield you from the potential heartbreak of love lost or a promotion you didn't get. But it also means you'll never know the incredible feeling of being passionately adored or of stepping into a new role that challenges you to grow. You may never get the joy of pushing past your own limits and proving to yourself that you're capable of so much more. Yes, these experiences come with risks. There's always a chance that you could face disappointment, heartbreak, or failure. But sometimes we need to recognize when the potential rewards far outweigh those risks. We need to make the conscious decision to push through the fear and allow ourselves to embrace the full spectrum of life, even the messy, uncertain parts. At the end of the day, happiness is a sweet reward, and it's worth the risk. It's time to let go of the hesitation, open your heart to joy, and realize that it's okay to take risks when they come with the possibility of growth, love, and fulfillment. So, step into your happiness, let go of the fear, and embrace the possibility of something wonderful. Until next time, keep challenging the limits.